study and how you use what you watch during the week to set up corners during the game day?
Yeah, I think starting on early in the week, kind of on a Sunday or Monday when we come in after our Saturday game. The first thing I like to look for is just tendencies. Obviously, it's kind of like a wide view of what they do as a defense. So studying coverages and everything like that. Not getting too specific in the player personnel, but later on in the week, that's when we'll kind of get into that. Watch technique. And see how guys play, whether they're hard press, soft press, eyes in the backfield, and stuff like that. See how disciplined they are. So use that on Saturdays to our advantage.
Emeka, you play with a lot of great receivers in Ohio State. Marvin Harrison Jr., Garrett Wilson, JSN, Chris Olave, and Jeremiah Smith is still there. What do you take from each of those guys to help improve your game going into the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's hard not to learn from those guys. Just being in the room all the time with them. I think I was roommates with Marvin for over a year. We did absolutely everything together. So he's one of my closest friends. But I can't remember a single day that we weren't at the facility getting in extra work, whether it was film study or catching on the jugs machine or running extra routes. So we spent a lot of time together, and we always challenge each other. We have a very competitive dynamic, so we're always pushing each other and competing in everything we do, whether it's football, video games, bowling, whatever the case may be. So the whole room was kind of like that, with just that competitive nature. So we're always pushing each other. There was really not areas in my game where I didn't learn.
Beck, when you go back to that,
film study of myself. Yeah, I think whenever I do watch myself, I'm my own hardest critic. I think part of the reason that I've excelled at Ohio State is because Coach Hartline and I share a very similar mindset. We're perfectionists to the nth degree. So I think that every time we watch film, I never tell myself, good job in my head. So I'm always critiquing myself, whether it's run blocking, route running, my splits before the play, just making sure I'm playing with the DB mentally. So it's all a game for me. It's all an art, and I love learning the art of receiver. I met with the Steelers formally.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good going against DB.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, it was a great hire. I think that Coach Kelly and Coach Day's relationship prior was really key for us, because Coach Day needs someone he fully trusted to be able to take the job, and Coach Kelly was the perfect fit. I think playing for him, I can see why some of his offenses in the past were so successful. He's probably one of the smartest football minds I've ever had the pleasure to meet and be coached under. So just everything he did from a weekly standpoint to be able to ensure us victory on Saturday was really why he's so great.
Formally with the Cowboys?
You said quarterback? That's a hard question for me. There's so many great quarterbacks in the league right now. Top three. Obviously you say Patrick Mahomes just because he's doing it at a level where Brady did it once, so he's trying to chase him, which is really cool. I think I'm a huge Seahawks fan. So growing up my entire life, Russell Wilson was kind of our guy. So he's awesome. And then another one, maybe Josh Allen, MVP. He's doing everything the right way right now.
Have you met formally with the Cowboys?
One more time. Yeah, he has a wealth of football knowledge. That just comes when you have so much experience and you played the game at such a high level. Wide receiver one for the Miami Dolphins. So I have full confidence in him. He's one of my close friends now that I've left, and just everything that he was able to teach me, I just know he's going to be able to pass on to the rest of the players at Ohio State. So there's really no concern for me from the offensive.
Mac, when you look back on that 2020 spring room when you first got here and all of the talent that was in it, I guess in your own words, how would you describe that room with you and Marv and J-Mo and Garrett and Chris when you first got here?
Yeah, I mean, to give a quick background on the room that I stepped into at Ohio State. There was Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Julian Fleming, Jamison Williams, Cameron Babb, Marvin Harrison Jr. That's probably one of the craziest rosters I've ever heard in my life. So I think some of you can just picture what that room was like. And that was really the reason I decided to go to Ohio State, was because I didn't want to go to a place where I wasn't going to be challenged by my peers. I wanted to go to a place where, in order to see the field, I had to grow and at an exponential rate, because they were all growing as well. So being able to play with them and just being in that competitive atmosphere is is why I'm saying before you all today. For sure.
Have you met your relationship like with
I've not met formally with Cowboys.
informal?
Yes, sir.
How was that meeting?
It was awesome. Junior Adams, wide receiver coach. I've known him for a very long time. He actually coached my wide receiver coach in high school when he was at Eastern Washington. So, he's we've had a long relationship ever since I was in high school. He's awesome. I love spending time with him. And we stay connected all my 4 years throughout college.
What's your relationship like with C.J. Stroud? And have you met with the Texans?
I have met with the Texans. We had a great meeting. That was formally, and CJ and I, obviously, I have a lot of love for the guy. Just to see what he's doing with his faith too at the next level. That's something that I'm just so proud to be able to see as a friend of his, and our relationship definitely runs deep. I think that you have a special connection when you're catching passes from him and going for 1,000 yards for a super memorable season. So playing with him was amazing times for me. You go back to what you know, and all they knew that entire year was man coverage. It was 80% man coverage, like 90% post high. So I kind of knew that they were gonna, bet on themselves and go man coverage. And with that type of leverage, with the people we have on the outside and just the people we have on the inside, I was able to run a great route that play as well. We were able to get open and seal the game.
Emeka, you played with a variety of different quarterbacks at Ohio State. Can you talk about the process of building chemistry with different guys and adjusting to their different types of play styles, scheme fits?
Yeah, I think it starts, firstly with off the field. So I think, for me, I came in with Kyle McCord. He was one of my other roommates with Marvin. And I remember every single night we would do walkthroughs in our living room, just making sure we knew the plays down pat for the next day when we would have practice and everything like that. So I think that definitely built up our chemistry off the field. And it was just a natural flow on the field. Same thing for Will Howard. The second he came into Ohio State from Kansas State, it felt like he had been there my entire time at Ohio State. He's just an amazing guy. I have tons of respect for him. I love him to death. He's actually my roommate right now in Indy, so our chemistry just keeps building. So, I'm excited to be able to throw with him at Pro Day. I've not met with the Commanders yet, and I don't specifically model my game after any one player. I love studying the art of receiver, the art of route running, the cerebral part of it. For me is very fun. So I think ever since a young age, when I first started playing receiver, I was watching wide receiver DB run one-on-ones and just route running, everything like that. So I think my game is comprised of all the people who I've watched over my entire lifetime.
When you decided to return to Columbus, what was the biggest
Yeah, I think honestly the biggest attribute I was looking to refine in my senior season was just my faith in God. That comes first and foremost before anything on the field. That was the leading factor in me deciding to return from my senior year at Ohio State. So I just spent a lot of time in prayer, and I felt like he was leading me back to Ohio State to do something bigger than football. Obviously, we were able to win the national championship, which is amazing and a dream come true for me and something I'll never forget. But other than that, we had some amazing moments where us players were able to share the gospel of Jesus Christ and just share our faith in Him. And we were actually, experienced a bit of a revival on campus in Columbus. There was people getting baptized left and right. We were able to share our testimonies, and it was just a beautiful thing to be a part of.
What do you think, Brandon?
One more time. I have. I mean, it was amazing. I was walking in the room, it was funny, and I was like, the first thing I was looking for, well, first off, I'm a Seahawks fan, so I was, Pete Carroll was there, so I was like, oh, snap, that's Pete Carroll. So I was walking in the room, and, but I'm looking for Coach Kelly, and he's not there. I think he was at the bathroom or something because he came in late. So then we shared a moment there. It was really exciting to see him and, just chop it up with him a little bit. Ever since the national championship, I haven't really seen him except for, the parade in Columbus. So, no, it was amazing.
What do you think, Brandon?
What do you think?
One more time.
Have you walked with Terry McLaurin, and what do you think?
Yeah, I've watched tons of Terry, especially being from Ohio State. He has tons of film on, on our computer systems and everything like that. So he's someone that I've watched over the past couple of years. And I think the thing about Terry is just that, first and foremost, he's an amazing guy, super humble. And just seeing where he started at Ohio State, Terry's always one of the first examples Coach Hart brings up when he comes to, growing, on the field. Terry was never a guy who, when he was coming in, as a senior from high school, he didn't catch the ball on that naturally, and he spent hours and hours and hours and thousands of reps on the jugs machines, and now he has one of the lowest drop rates in the entire league, one of the highest contested catch percentages. So he just shows us what it looks like and pioneered the way for us to be hard workers in that room.
What do you think, Brandon, is
I've never really had another quarterback who was such a field general and a leader like Will was. Every time he stepped in the huddle, there was just a sense of relief that washed over the entire team. So obviously, you can watch his playoff run and you can see him spin the ball and run the ball and do everything at an extremely high level, high enough level for us to win the national championship, and that's amazing. But I think what teams are going to get in Will Howard is a leader like no other. I said the same thing. Julian's that guy. I think that I've been around a lot of talented freshmen, Jeremiah included, and Julian definitely falls into that same category. His arm talent is something that I've never really personally experienced at such a young age. So I think he has a really bright future. I'm excited to see how he develops, how he learns, how he grows stronger in the weight room. All that comes with it. So stepping on the field in college for the first time is definitely not something that's easy, but I think he's ready for the challenge.
What do you think Brandon Ennis will bring?
Have I thought about playing with Garrett Wilson? If the wherever Garrett ends up, or if the Jets decide to take me or something like that, that would be a dream come true for me. Garrett's one of my closest friends. We talk consistently, so he's. I'm never going to be mad at the fact that we're sharing the same field.
What do you think Brandon Ennis will bring to that slot position next year when he takes over for you?
Toughness. I don't think, obviously I believe I'm a good football player, but I don't think Ohio State's going to be missing a beat, to be honest. I pride myself on being, his big brother. I taught him everything I know. I handed him the keys to that wide receiver room. So I'm excited to see how he develops. Just his mentality when approaching the game. He probably, out of everybody on Ohio State, he's probably one of the ones who loves football the most. Like, he's just so excited to be out on the field every single Saturday. So I'm excited for some of his dreams to come true next season.
Emeka, what does that next step for Carnell Tate look like?
One more time.
What does that next step for Carnell Tate look like?
Honestly, he's the type of guy who's going to do anything that the coaches ask of him. And I think that's one of the most desirable traits about Carnell. You look at his story, and it makes me emotional just talking about him. But he's the type of guy that I have so much love for. He's super genuine through and through, and I'm just excited for his career to take off.
What part of your game do you think will translate and help you find success in the next level?
One more time.
What part of your game do you think will translate and help you find success in the next level?
I think probably just my football IQ. You look at some of the best players in the entire league. Everybody gets older. No one's immune from aging. So the thing that really keeps you in the game is knowing how to take care of your body and knowing how and when to be open in the NFL. So I think that's some part of my game that's going to translate really well.
Who's the best?
Sorry, I didn't get anybody on that.
Who's the best wide receiver?
Overtime. It was amazing. My meeting with the Steelers was amazing. We were able to talk a little football, but mostly it was kind of just a get-to-know-you type thing. And all our questions were run by Coach Tomlin. He's an amazing guy, super genuine. I could just tell right off the bat, so we had a great meeting.
What are you doing this week? In terms of testing and working out?
I'm going to be doing everything at the Pro Day.
And then, who is somebody that we're not talking about in Ohio State that we will be talking about this season?
That's a good question. I haven't seen much draft or. Oh, you're talking about at Ohio State? Oh, okay. Let me think. I would say someone who's really going to step up. Obviously, we just talked about Brandon Ennis, Bryson Rogers. I can talk about all the receivers. I'm going to give another position group. I say Jalen McClain is someone who's really going to step up. He played a little bit in our postseason for us. He's kind of one of those freshmen that just has it all together, has the right mindset going into football. He's going to make a huge splash next season.
Michael, what are the things that caused you about you is your maturity, the way you carry yourself, physics, and hard play? What do you feel like
Definitely comes from my roots in the way that my parents raised me. My father just having high character and high integrity, being from Nigeria, immigrating to the States when he was around my age, and then just my mother and, all the values she's placed in me and the way that she loved me growing up. I just want to do everything to make them proud. So, all shout out to my parents for the way that they raised me, honestly.
Who's the best?
Greg Hurd, how did he help lay the foundation for you in high school?
Greg Hurd?
Yeah.
That's one of my closest friends. Coach Hurd, one of the best coaches I've ever had the pleasure to work with. For those of you who don't know, he's my high school coach, my high school wide receiver coach at Steilacoom High School. And, he went to Steilacoom and then he went to Eastern Washington, played in the NFL for a number of years. So he kind of passed to me all the knowledge that he had at the wide receiver position from when I was a young kid. I think 8th grade is like when I first met him. So now he's doing his thing coaching in the state of Washington. So I'm excited to see how his future pans out.
Who's the best wide receiver that you played with that's now in the NFL?
Can I plead the fifth?
No, you got to pick one.
I can't even pick one if I'm being honest with you. It's choosing between Jackson, Jameson, Garrett, Chris, Marv. Like it's too hard to do that, to be honest. I think I know one answer, and then I want to switch it because I think about something else. They're all like generational talents, to be honest.
What's your least favorite thing about Will Howard?
My least favorite thing about Will Howard?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Will. Dude, no, you snore, though. He's my roommate right now. No, he does snore. I'm not going to lie. We coming home, he's so exhausted. These were long days in Indy. But we're both super blessed to be here. So that's not, we're super blessed to be here. But no, he sleeps hard for sure. Just my faith in God, honestly. That's really the main thing I'm looking to push forward to any team who has the pleasure of talking, who I have the pleasure of talking to. I just want them to know where I come from and my roots. Thank you. That's all you got.